Testing, testing. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trading Syndicate. I'm JJ, and this is our Globex session for, gosh, Thursday the 8th. It's amazing. Pretty crazy. Sorry, the 7th. The 7th. Hey, Raj. Hey, Resto. How you doing? Good to see you guys. What's up, Worm? My usual folks on YouTube. Hey, Juan. Mother Truck. How you doing? Hey, Nate. Ah, Moran. How are you? Oh boy. Here we go again. So let's we always do a top down, so look at the bird's eye view of what's going on here. We've got our overnight inventory is long. There's the close of yesterday, and there's all the trading of tonight. So inventory is long. We have what we call a P profile, which looks like the letter P. And what that means is that there is some serious short covering going on. Yesterday, it's interesting. We had a letter P yesterday, kind of not a really good looking one. But right there, that's where the trap shorts were from yesterday. You'll notice that the overnight low is right there, right? Hey, Johnny, how you doing? Oh, you moved. Hope that went well. So, the interesting thing about overnight lows, the overnight lows tell you where the shorts are trapped from the previous day. So you can basically look at the base of that P profile from yesterday, and then you look at the overnight low, it's right in that area. All right, so now you know where the bid is. Now, now this it's almost comical how look at this area here. We've got another P profile. So you've got two markets with two sessions with consecutive P profiles. So this is this TPO charts can be insanely overcomplicated if you look at them that way. Try and keep it simple, right? There's a B shape and a P shape. If you look, the P shape under the base of that P, the bottom of it, that's where the shorts are trapped. And it's right around the area where we took the previous high from the previous day. So a good amount of the volume above yesterday's high is short covering volume, right? The problem with short sellers is that they get trapped all the time. And you keep probably wondering, JJ, how many people are short and how many people are getting trapped? It doesn't take much. All it takes is a few sort of mid-size or smaller hedge funds to get short size, and that's easily taken advantage of in a thin market, right? These markets don't have a lot of volume. So, for example, tonight we've got what, 50,000 contracts, right? It doesn't take much short volume to hold a market up. These are things that you guys don't really think about because you've never had to manipulate a stock. I unfortunately have had insane amounts of experience with stock manipulation, so I understand how the dynamics and the mechanics of all this work. So when you trap shorts, the most likely place that they're going to get trapped, like tonight, is when the market took out yesterday's high. Anyone who was short, position-wise, would have had their stop there. That's why when the market comes in, it cannot break 63.80 for now, right? Let's see what happens when London opens, right? The other problem is we had this liquidation, right? We had a big liquidation, and then we had a balance area where we went sideways. What that balance area does is it cleans out the market. You get all of this liquidating supply getting flushed back and forth here, and that's why I've been telling you guys, I said, remember, if it doesn't take out 63.06, what's it going to do? And I said, where's our target? I said 63.88. What's our high for tonight? 63.91. Right? It's really simple. It's hard to trade, right? Trading is not easy, but it's simple, right? Markets rotate, right? What do they rotate? They rotate inventory, right? Because it's a market. It's you got to sell something, right? You can't go to the market without anything to sell. So here we're selling ES contracts. So this flushing back and forth motion flushed the overhanging inventory into wholesale hands to be sold, resold back into the retail flow for profit, right? That's how markets work. So let's go see what we're looking at tonight and how do we trade it, right? Oh. Once again, we only had liquidation for one day in this market. And that's why I was telling people, you know, if we don't take out these lows, don't get short, right? Unfortunately, I have a limited viewership, and that's a big short position right there. So, hey, John. Yeah, we are. You got to learn the mechanics of how this business works. Otherwise, you're doomed. Really, you're seriously doomed if you don't understand how this works. Because you'll always be trading in the wrong direction at the wrong time in the wrong place. You know, wrong time, wrong place, wrong direction. I mean, that is the battle cry of every retail trader, right? So, got to smarten up, right? Yeah, it's another short seller meat grinder, Phil. We have a poor high, right? That's why people will be thinking inventory correction as London opens. Let's see. I've got my levels done up. I've got a 63.85 and 3/4 to 89 and a quarter balance. You can see how you double them out and you get 96 to the top, 78 to the bottom. Right? Well, we've all been there, Mike. I'm not immune to all of that, right? Wrong place, wrong time, and wrong direction, right? That that's until we figure it out, you know. So we've got sellers up here at 90. Now, as the market kind of does a little bit of a retracement here, let's see. Make sure I've got VWAP in the right place. Hmm. So I haven't taken a trade yet this morning. 80 to 89 and a quarter. Yeah, you've actually pretty much got the whole profile, SC. It's okay. You know what? What you want to do when you're looking for cost basis, right? And I've put some videos out there. There's quite a few of them. You want to look for a high and a low, right? And when we look above that high or we look below that low, you go right back to that high. And you stop there, and then you look above, and you stop there, and then if you see resistance, you're looking for sellers at a certain level, and you're looking for them to stop selling at a certain level. That's what you're looking at. And that's the rotation that you want, right? High, look above, come back up, boom, right back to that low, right? You could give it a shot. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you've pretty much got the whole entire, and this is a rotation, so you're not wrong. It's just a little wide, right? What you want to do with these balance levels is practice drawing them, and not just once or twice. When I started doing this balance thing and I noticed that it was working, right? And it was a long time before I actually took balance and figured out that, oh crap, this is just cost basis, right? It took me a while because I kept looking for balance zones and just thinking about it. And then when I expanded my thinking, I was like, oh crap, it's just cost basis, right? Because for me, cost basis is everything in a market, right? Because in my business, he who has the lowest cost basis has already won the war, right? So if I get issued stock at 1 penny and I'm selling it to you at 30 cents, I've already won, right? Yeah, I mean, 10 might, if you have a really big range, 10 points will work fine, right? What have I got here? I've got four. It's usually in a tight night market, it's usually 3 to 5, right? Somewhere like that, right? Not a big deal. Just keep. What I do is I would draw balance zones, right? I would draw balance zones on everything, on Microsoft, Apple, penny stocks, whatever, and I just kept drawing them. Forex, on Nasdaq, on SPY, and as once you keep doing it over and over and over again, you've got to do the reps. Once you do the reps, any chart you look at, you'll be like, oh crap, there's a balance zone, right? Your eye will automatically be drawn to it. Just keep practicing. And we're kind of stuck. Oh, any interesting news today? Oh, jobless claims at 8:30. Hmm. So we're just waiting now. Let's see if there's a seller at 89 and a quarter. We spend a lot of time watching, you know. As a retail trader, you spend 90% of your time watching markets, probably even more. Execution is, even though it's very important, It's it's so little time. Hmm. I guess, Mike. Yeah, you can't be out there swinging punches all the time. Yeah, we are stuck, folks. All right. Oh, good a question. Can you talk about how the books transfer at a company between day? Hang on a second. Okay. Can you talk about how the books transfer at a company between day end and day New York to Asian to London to New York, pre-market, the actual business logistics in the office at the desk? Uh, I'm a little lost, Assy. What are you trying to ask? Like, I don't put much stock in this sort of like Asian Open kind of stuff. People do. It's just what it is if you have inventory at the end of the day, right? You try and get rid of it at night. If you're short inventory at the end of the day, you try and buy it back at night. Does that make sense? Those are really only the business logistics. There's no actual transfer of a book. Traders have inventories. They put their positions in the inventories. Does that help? I'm not sure if I understand the question, so I want to make sure I'm answering it correctly. Now, you have to ask yourself when you're asking these questions, and there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but how is that going to actually affect my trading and how am I going to make money from it? There's like a lot of talk on Twitter and financial about stuff that really won't make you any money. So you really don't want to worry about certain things because they don't affect your business. Do you know what I mean? Let me get to Johnny here. Hey, Johnny, would you say larger balance zones for swing trading and smaller balance zones for cost basis? Well, generally, right? Like, yeah, so I have balance zones for longer term, right? Like, like we had a look below and fail of 6306, right? Which targets 65.47, right? So, SC, I don't know. Are you still there? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? All we're doing is we're moving inventory, my friend, right? We have inventory here, we're selling it up here, right? People who are short here are trying to buy it back. That's what's holding the market up. So there's actually no transfer of a book. It's not like a ledger is being passed. You're hoping for a more exciting answer? Uh, E equals MC squared? I don't know what you're looking for, man. I tell you, you get some characters on these YouTube things. I don't know. Maybe light a firecracker and hold on to it for too long, right? Try that. Maybe that'll maybe it'll give you the excitement that you need. I don't know what you're trying to do. We're trying to make money without overcomplicating things. That's what we do at the trading syndicate, right? Here's the thing. Most people are tired of all the BS, right? Right? Most people, like, if you talk to people who are trying to make money, who are learning how to trade, they're like, man, just give me the straight goods, right? Don't BS me about indicators and this and that and delta, gamma, phi, beta, kappa, all this crap. Just tell me where to put my bid, where to put my stop, where can I expect to get out of the trade? Is this going to work or not, right? I mean, surely you folks are tired of all the BS that goes around in financial Twitter, right? You know, like I don't know how you guys take it, running around in circles, right? Talking about all this useless crap. Seriously, I don't know how you guys how your head doesn't explode, right? You need some confluence, flatulence, all this bullshit. Excuse my language, right? I don't know how you guys stomach it. Don't you just want to learn how to make money, right? Or is it like kind of like a curiosity thing, right? Take me down the rabbit hole, right? Most people I find, have lives and families and hockey practice and bills to pay, and they want to make some money, right? Like, surely you guys must be sick of it all, right? That's why I try and just keep it simple, right? Right now, Laura, just chill out and have a coffee because there's no money to be made right now. We're waiting for London to open and see if we can shake this thing up. The problem is we've got another short squeeze going. Problem is we are outside yesterday's cost basis, right? You know, yeah, exactly. That's why I have a course, but my course comes with lifetime one-on-one mentoring, which means you can phone me up anytime you have a problem and we'll hop on a Zoom and I'll work with you like I'm sitting next to you, right? So, yeah, how many people sell a course where they actually offer like support forever, where you have my phone number? Not many, right? That's why I do that because people are sick of being sold crap that doesn't work, right? Let's see if we can get down to VWAP now, right? Yeah. What was yesterday? Someone was talking about market maker algorithm. I'm like, what are you talking about, right? Yeah. I don't know. I look at a lot of the questions that I get, and I'm like, okay, like you get serious questions, like, okay, where do you put my stop, and why is this the reason, and all that stuff. And then you get people asking all these crazy questions, and you're like, okay, you're sitting in your mom's basement. Yeah, buy here, sell there. So, for example, right, if you're taking a short view right now, right, let's get down to brass tacks, right? If you're saying, okay, I'm thinking lower, right? Well, you're watching 63.85, and you have certain areas where the sellers are stepping in, and every time, now I've looked at this twice now. I looked at it here and I looked at it here. And I was thinking, if we get under 85, maybe I can short it down to VWAP. Every time we get to 85, there's a responsive bid, right? So what's the point in shorting it, right? Right? Do I want to go long knowing that there's sellers at 87 and a quarter that are gonna, and it's going back and forth over a level? So remember how I said retail traders are trading at the wrong time? Well, this is the wrong time to take a scalp, right? Because the market is working out this 63.85 and three quarter level, right? The order flow around there is not reliable, it's not consistent, so it's going back and forth and back and forth, right? Not the best trading environment, right? So sometimes you're going to come in, you're going to look at a market, and you're going to go, oh crap, this sucks. Now, you can just go and trade away and get stopped out and waste a whole bunch of money, or you can sit and watch it, or you can go to the gym, right? Come back, do whatever, do something healthy, right? Because these barcode chart patterns, right, are very difficult to trade, right? If this thing holds 85 and three quarters, it'll rotate up to 87 and a quarter. So you have 2 points that are available in a very choppy market. So, and there's no follow through, right? There's no follow through. Listen, I don't mind people selling courses. I sell one, right? And stuff like that. But give the people that you sell a course to aftermarket support. Don't sell them a course and go, okay, here's a course, it's 5 grand or whatever the hell it is, and now you're on your own, right? You got to work with people because they're not going to get it right away, and everybody learns at a different rate of speed, so you have to work with people. You can't just sell them something and walk away. It's not a used car, right? There's a little bit of selling. Okay. Now, what did I forget? I forgot that overnight inventory was long, so I should have been looking for shorts instead of looking for longs at 85 and three quarter. Right? There's that VWAP trade that I wanted because it was really choppy here, so I got psyched out, and that happens. Here comes London. See, I don't even have my trading account open. Let's see if there's a seller at 85 and three quarter. There's a seller at 85 and three quarter. Now, what do we do with it? Okay, I got my trading Sierra open. Try a little short here at 85 and a quarter. My stop is 86. And let's see if we can get down to VWAP. I'll put an 84 bid in. Can I get hit at 84? If not, I'll move it up to 84 and a quarter and take the point. No, I got hit at 84. Okay, cool. So when I saw the seller here, right, I went out and hit it, and then I put a bid before VWAP, right? So that is a test trade. I did that with one micro, not even a mini, because it's the first trade I've taken this morning. I want to see if my brain is working, right? So now let's see if we get back up over 85 and 3/4. That's true, William. That's very true. It's good for us though. They bring a lot of those $50 orders, right? So now the sellers moved down to 85. I think a lot of the mobile app platforms are getting into the futures game as well. I don't know how you trade futures on a mobile app, but bring them in, bring them in. And I hear they're trying to get rid of the PDT rule or knock it down in equities trading. Somebody told me from 25,000 to 2,500. This VWAP sitting there at 83 is really putting a hitch in everything. Yeah. Oh. Hey, Raj, did they raise margin requirements because of the news? I haven't looked at my email this morning. No? Okay. Back up over 85 and 3/4. So, nobody needs to sell it under 84 tonight, right? So we shorted it down to the bid. Now, if you want to go long, know that there's going to be a seller at 87 and a quarter, right? So say you're long 86, 86 quarter, 86 half. You're using 85 as a stop. You're looking for the market to offer over 87 and a half and print, right? So there's the 87 and a quarter offer. There's the print at half. And now let's see if we can print 3/4. Nope, not yet. Nice trade, Moran. Long 84, beautiful. See if we can get a 3/4 print. A print means a trade. No print yet at 87 and 3/4. There's a seller at half, right? There's a seller at half. Govern yourselves accordingly. Here we go again. Let's go. Let's get a 3/4 print. Somebody take it. There we go. We got an 88 print. Even better. Next place there's going to be a seller is 88 and a quarter. It's pretty simple. Where the old candles are, that's where the sellers are going to be. If they sold there before, they're going to sell again. Nice trade, Moran. Well done. There's 88 quarter. There's the seller. Not aggressive, but they're there. See? This is a very mechanical, electronically traded market. It's very precise, especially when it's slow. Nice work, Moran. That's really well done. There we go. 88 and a half print. Your target is 89 and a quarter if you're still long. Right? So simple, common sense trading, right? Look below and fail. Long, stop, target one, target two, and then your ultimate target is the top of the balance. Right? Markets rotate up looking for supply, they rotate down looking for buyers. Nice work, Worm. One more tick. Come on, give me one more tick and we'll hit the target. There. Target hit. So, folks, do you see that the basis of this is simple, right? You don't have to worry about transferring books or the Incredible Hulk and their gamma or options, blah, 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 or any of that stuff, right? Dealer hedging, all of that stuff. All you got to do is know where to put your buy order and why. Well, because the orders here are done, right? So those orders are complete. The market's going to rotate higher looking for supply. So you put your buy in when it clears this level. You put your stop here. And then you put your sell orders out and let the market take you as it goes. Right? It's simple. The execution at first will drive you crazy. Right? I ain't going to lie. Right? When you start doing this, you're going to fumble around because you don't know where the buttons are. Right? You're going to be fumbling around, moving stuff around, getting stopped out. You know, that's, well, welcome to the real world, right? Any skill takes time. You've got to keep practicing, put in the reps, right? Now, let's see if we can take out the stops at 90, where the sellers are, and go attack that poor high. Because if we do get accepted over the overnight high, well, let's take a look. Some of your structural stops are going to be, I hope I got, yeah, up here. So you've got stops at 94 and a half, 95. Then up here just under 64.04. These are your upper stops. Put that in the room. Just in case this thing gets out of control. Took the stop by one tick. They started to sell into it, so they didn't see enough buying to warrant raising prices. So let's see if it holds this area here. Otherwise, it's going to drop back down to 85 3/4. You can see it bid here, right? As it kind of drops in, it hits the bid and then lifts. Just keep an eye on that. Any questions? Jeez, it's a slow session, folks. Now, everyone's going to be tempted to short this, right? You can see that the sellers are stepping in this area. Problem is, if we can't get lower than 88, it will start to rotate slowly up. And there's that meat grinder price action that you're seeing right now, where it looks weak, it feels heavy, all the, feelings traders, they feel this. The problem is that slow price action will just creep higher and trap more shorts. What happened to your quotes, ACS? No internet? See how it's just kind of creeping higher? This is really, really one of the the telltale signs of electronic trading. That creeping price action, it gets so many people trapped short. It's just brutal. That's why if it's really slow and very boring, start watching the offer. Draw a level and then watch the offer. If the offer keeps going, see how it keeps going higher and higher? Right now they see some buyers, so they're trying to entice those buyers to pay more. Right? Of course, it's all done electronically, but the business never changes. Algorithms just make the business more efficient. They're like the robots in the Amazon warehouse, right? That's all automation does is it makes the business more efficient, right? This is a market, so the algos make the delivery of the product more efficient. That's all it is. They don't control the market. There's no algo that controls the market, right? It's a business. And the business is to sell inventory at the highest price you can. Look at it go. See, I told you guys that creepy price action. There, see? Stop run. Boom. I didn't anticipate the response like that. But see how they get you? Anyone who is shorting here And when it came back down here, I thought, oh, okay, maybe it's a look above and fail and I can short it. But then I saw it stop dead. I was like, you're not getting me. Right? You're not getting me. Now, let's see where we backfill to. We should probably come back and test the 90s to see if there's bids there, right? See, there's some bids at 90, 90 half. Watch the offer. Watch the red line on the candle chart. If it starts moving up, it means the sellers see buyers. If it starts moving down, it means the sellers see competition and they have to reduce price to capture the buying. Yeah, if you're short, that's great. Look for 89, 89 and a quarter. There's 89 and a quarter. Hmm. See if the offer lifts back above. This could be another little look below and fail. See if it holds 89 here. If I was to go long, I'd have to wait until it gets back over 90. The position is now under us. So the agenda is to take this and try and get rid of it up here somewhere. Try and remember that. If we break back and go lower, that means we've completely run out of buyers and we have to put it on sale again. For the moment, there are bids here. Just at 88 and 3/4. Right there are unfilled bids here. That's what's holding it up. If those bids get filled, we'll come back down. Watch. Anybody have any questions? I know it's really slow. But you can educate yourself by watching the price action. Draw some lines, watch the offer. If the offer gets underneath this line, it'll start filling these bids under 88 and 3/4, right? If those bids start getting filled, there goes your support. See what I mean? So if you're short, you're looking for this thing to come all the way back to 85 and 3/4, right? There will be bids in certain places. Just look for places to cover your short if it doesn't break these levels. Now, I don't know if Jiraj, if you're around, that's not a place for you to go long. It's a place for you to look to cover your short if it can't break those levels. I have not watched IWM in 3 years, and I've never looked at Dow. I never compare markets, James. I'm not a correlation guy. I trade one thing, I watch the order flow in it to the point of obsession. Yeah, it's curious to know what's going on in other markets, but I I cannot afford to lose focus. If I'm looking at two, three, four other markets, I'm going to trade like crap in this one. I've actually never really met a lot of people who correlate markets who are successful. I know a lot of people who talk about it, but I don't know a lot of people who they look at the NASDAQ to trade the ES and stuff like that. I don't know anyone who's successful doing that. Now, I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Barley is up. Okay. Never even looked at the barley market or any of the commodities. But let's see if we can get over this 89 and 3/4, 90 level. Going to be looking for, see if we can take out that candle at 90 and a half, 90 and 3/4. So if you're long on the look below and fail of 89 and a quarter, right, your stop will be like 88 half, 88 3/4. I would use. Now let's see if we can print over 90 and a half. Let's see if we can get a 3/4 print. Good. Good, good, good. Now, where's the next target? Right, next target is 91 half, 3/4. Then here, right? Simple rotations, ladies and gentlemen, right? So long 89 and 3/4, 90, right? You're selling them at 91 half if you can get there. Now, if you can't get up there, what do you got to do? You got to punt it, right? That's what scalping's about. Now, if you're a position trader and you're position long, well, problem is when it's really choppy, how long do you want to hold that trade? How much capital are you going to put up? Every trade is a business transaction. So what you have to think about is how much am I willing to commit to this business transaction knowing what I know? What is my level of confidence, right? So if it's a choppy market, I might have to get in and out. I might have to manage my expectations and expect to make less money, right? And that's okay. You can chip away at it. If there's no bids here, look for rotation back down. Yep, found bids again. Not a lot of meat on the bone tonight, folks. Moran had a good trade. Yeah, not much to do here. Any questions, folks? Thanks for being with me. It's been a bit of a snooze fest. We'll be back at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Come join us at the Trading Syndicate, and we'll definitely keep you out of bad trades, that's for sure. All you got to do is follow directions. Thanks for joining us. I use AMP, I use IAMP, I use Iron Beam. See you in the morning, Laura. Thanks for being up with us. Have a great morning, everyone. And we'll see you in a few hours. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.